welcome y'all to the first episode of Young Bosses. Right here, I got next to me one of my good friends, one of my, good associate friends. I met Joey probably like, 10 years ago?
No, that was 12 years ago, bro.
12 years ago? Damn.
Oh, 12 years ago.
Like 12 years ago, through a friend of mine, KP, shout out KP.
Yes, sir.
And it's been love ever since. We've been doing a lot of business together. Definitely put me on with a lot of people, a lot of connects. So, Joe, just let the people know who you are and a little bit about yourself.
This is episode 1?
Episode 1, baby. I got you there.
Jesus.
Yes, sir.
I thought that was like episode like 6, 7, 8, 9.
Nah, first joint.
Man. So my name is Joesph Butler. Like Dan said, we met through a guy named KP. And I remember the day I met him, like my mom was like, this dude came to the store. We had a sporting goods store at the time and we printed clothes. She was like, he needs your help. The company was called TPC.
Yeah, I
And
remember
he would,
TPC.
while you at work, he'd go to the cleaners, he'd go to the car dealer, whatever. He'd handle your car. So when you get off work, Preston, everything.
He had a business doing that.
We in Marlow Heights. You got car dealerships, you got car maintenance spots all around there. You can get your car, all that, multiple places. So he was in like the bread basket for that type of business. Like he had all the options he needed, but he was trying to create merchandise for his company. And my mom was like, hold up, stop, my son got you. And so my mom called me and was like, I left his number here. Like she wouldn't give me the number over the phone. I had to come to the store. So it was like, I need you to come to work and I need you to call this dude.
Yeah, shout out mom.
She was hustling the right way because I was like, all right, I'm gonna go call him. And man, we met and me and Kev made money together since. Yeah. So that's my guy.
That's crazy because I remember to jump in, I remember me and Kevin, we had a business making high school.
Yeah.
And you made all that shirts. I'm like, damn, these joints is fly.
I forgot about that one.
Where you getting these made at? He's like, my man Joey. I'm like, no way. And then I had started making orders. Then I would come up to the shop. Yeah. And then you like,
We Edit USA.
Yeah, We Edit Sports USA. Shout out We Edit Sports USA.
Man, that was a good time.
That was
content before we knew what content was.
We were going to other states filming, Buffalo. We went to Buffalo a couple times, and we would always wear the stuff that you made us. We was looking fly.
And y'all shot my wedding, so y'all locked in with us for life.
Yeah, for sure. Appreciate that. Yes, sir. So how's life for you now? Like with kids, you got. I know you got what, 2, 3 kids?
I got 2, not 3. No sir, not 3.
Not yet.
I already checked.
Third
I got 2.
It's coming.
Nah, not me, man. I'm telling my wife, not me. But no, we got 2 kids. One name's King, one name's Dream. Dream is the baby girl. Okay. And it's nothing like parenthood. I took classes for parenthood. Got advice from people who are parents, been parents for a long time. It's not one second in class and not one bit of advice that can prepare you for your child.
Right, that's true.
Like the instincts that came, my son was born, had an umbilical cord around his neck, so they had to do a C-section on my wife. My daughter was born 3 months early. She came out under 2 pounds. Damn. So those 2 dynamics just started. I wasn't thinking about no class. I'm thinking about survival. I'm thinking about praying. I'm thinking about, I'm not a doctor, so I'm praying the best doctor walks in here and handles this. So, and that's really how parenthood is. Every day is different. And I approach it like, I know I messed up yesterday, but I'm gonna try to get better today. Right. The child's still breathing. I must have did okay.
Nah, for real.
So
God is good.
It's really nothing that can prepare you for taking care of a life that doesn't really know it's a life yet. My kids, especially my 3-year-old, he's full of life. He has no caution. There's not one thing he won't jump off. Right. So
a lot of energy.
He don't know right from wrong sometimes. He don't know safe from unsafe. He just this looks fun. Dad, mom, close enough. Grandma's close enough. I'm gonna give this a try. Right. So just parenting that is fun. It's rewarding. It's fulfilling. It makes entrepreneurship even more of a beautiful process because it's not just for me, but it's for my children. So.
I like how you mentioned entrepreneurship already. That's good. That's actually on one of my lists. I do got a list. My first time doing this. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm trying. But so entrepreneurship. So when I met you, you was already kind of like an entrepreneur, or would you say? What would you say?
Man, listen. I always say this when I get on. I didn't even know it was a title.
Yeah.
My dad was like, "Don't work for the man." Yeah. I didn't know who the man was. I don't know if he meant a Caucasian man. I don't know if he meant Uncle Sam. He just said, "Don't work for the man." Yeah. Right? And I've had jobs. I've worked for people, so he wasn't saying never. He was just saying long term, you can't get the freedom that you are gonna want at some point working under someone's umbrella forever. So ever since I was 7, I took Domino sugar from Sam's Club. Well, it was called Price Club back then. And then I got different flavors of Kool-Aid from Shoppers Food Warehouse in Clinton, Maryland. I know vividly because I had to beg my mom to go. Right? I mixed those together in Ziploc bags and sold them as fun dip in school. That's how I started making money.
The little dip.
Yeah, we didn't have the white the dip thing. I gotta watch what I say. I got some friends online. I gotta watch what I say. Yeah, but the thing that helps you. My friends would leave school with red, blue fingers because it wasn't no. So then that's crazy you said that. I wound up just doing straight lemonade because lemonade is kind of yellow and your hands light, so it didn't give that imprint.
Dang, so he was already thinking.
Yeah. Because the teacher would be like, "Why your hands blue? Why your hands red?" And a kid is not gonna think I can't put Joey out of business. So Joey sold me this little bag I'm giving you on. Right. So I was slinging, sugar, on the playground and stuff like that. But it just taught me about supply and demand. My friends wanted it. We used to sneak into the teacher's lounge to get all different types of snacks or whatever, and that just was never safe. You know what I mean? So I was like, all right, well, what could I do? What could I do to solve this problem? And I didn't know it was a gift. It was just instinctual, just like parenting. I just would wake up and see my daughter, face down, and you know what I'm saying, like she shouldn't be laying like that. Just instinctually, like I never had training in that. It just happened. So in entrepreneurship, it was the same way. Just kids at school wanted candy. Why don't I supply it? I wasn't even thinking I made $50 this week. I don't even think I ever counted the money and said let's live it up. It was more this transaction could be better for them. And I have the solution. Why not give it a shot? That's how I got into entrepreneurship.
I like that. So, what made you dive into clothing?
So my parents started a t-shirt printing business. I was still around that same age, about 7 or 8, and my dad put it in the basement of the house. So
that's like the little machine.
Yeah, the machine.
Put the logo pressed down.
Yeah. So he started with
sew and all that and cut
Nah.
That's too much.
That's too much. If I prick my hand, I'm gonna be out for 6 weeks.
Right.
So I don't do none of that. So, but he started with a silk screen machine. So he had to convert the bathroom in the basement into a dark room because you got to go like in development film. So our basement was probably like one of your work sites, like just straight up, just stuff everywhere, paint everywhere, color everywhere, and so. That's what, instead of us playing in the basement, that was in the basement. So I mean, it wasn't fun. I mean, my play area was like a profit area.
You was getting ready.
Yeah, he didn't pay me for a couple of years, but it's all good. But yeah, so he put that in the basement, and it wasn't really clothing back then. It was a lot of, let me not say clothing. It was family reunion shirts. It was basketball uniforms, sporting teams. So it wasn't. That is a form of clothing, but it wasn't fashionable clothing.
Was you making money, or y'all was kind of doing it?
I was on free labor. He was making money.
Oh, gotcha. They even paid off?
Yeah, man.
A lot of times people will be like, I want to get paid like now, like today, like after work. Where's the money at? And it's like a lot of times if you look in your business like for long term, you can't really focus on making the money. Like it shouldn't be that important, even though it is though. So like a catch-22 because you got to pay bills and shit.
Right.
But
But I think the essence of what you're saying is that if your driving force is money, you're gonna miss the person. Yeah. My dad was my first mentor in the printing game. I didn't know it. I mean, I'm 7, 8 years old. I don't want to get burnt by the machine. this process looked fun. He didn't let me do certain stuff because I was so young, but he let me in on the business. Like, he let me see what was going on. So at that age, I'm recording mentally without even knowing it. So 10 years later, I'm selling shirts in college. I'm selling branded attire in college. And my mom and dad, I went to St. Vincent College right outside of Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Yeah, so
That's what's up.
so I
Play sports too?
I play basketball.
That's why, yeah, okay. Everything,
Yeah, that's it.
that's how everything ties in.
Yeah. So my whole family's a basketball family.
So you also train athletes too, right?
Yeah, this court right behind me, right now in the neighborhood. We do some training here. I do some training in Columbia and Gaithersburg. I try to keep a tight-knit group. I'm not a full-time basketball trainer. I'm a life skills coach. I try to teach the individuals I train life skills through basketball. I feel like the basketball court is just the entryway to get that kid to communicate in a way they wouldn't communicate off the court. Because on the court, you're an artist. You're creating. You're using instincts, and I can kind of see and feel and hear what a kid is maybe going through, what they're not saying that they won't say to their parents. That I can get that by just being around them on the court. And then once the trust comes, I can share my story and let God do His thing, because I didn't take full advantage of basketball because I had a love for money. And so kids are the same way. It just might not be money. It just could be attention. It could be young ladies or the young men, or it's.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. All right, so we are back. Joe, I like these prints you got up here. Which one is your favorite? Do you have like a personal favorite, like that you made?
I don't. I tried to go that route one time, but it's like once you wear it, it's like a car. Like after week 2, after you got it, it don't feel this like
week 2 like a car.
Yeah, week 2. Week 2, man. I'll probably be a paper tag fan when I get some real money.
Oh, so why don't you lease instead of?
I do like commitments, you know what I mean? So I've been married for a little bit of time. So.
Right, I like that. You want to show the camera, like hold a couple?
Oh yeah, for sure. All right, so basically, we started this line. I was going to the mall. I used to be a Nordstrom. I don't know if it's a gold card member, but I was there every Friday getting a fit. Yeah. And at some point, I fell out of love.
The rack or
No, Nordstrom. Not the rack.
The rack be hitting a little bit.
Nah.
You can find some sneaky pieces in the rack.
Nah, I was slinging that candy in elementary school. I had racks under the bed. But I didn't see anything at the store that really spoke to who I was. So the name Ambition was just, I've always been ambitious, and not just about money, just about a lot of different things. So I felt like the name spoke to me, and it would speak to a large crowd of people. So this is probably one of my, I'm not gonna say favorite, but this is one of the one I'm most proud of. This is a picture of the Black History History Museum in DC.
Oh yeah,
and
that's dope.
It's a picture that says Black Lives Matter.
I like the words on the cursive on it.
Yeah, so my graphic artist whipped something up. But when you say favorite, man, whichever one's clean and brand new, that's my favorite Ambition shirt.
Nah, it's definitely dope. I can feel the quality. And just to let y'all know, he makes all my company shirts. So I ain't got it on right now, but I had it on earlier, like 30 minutes ago. So the quality is always good. I mean, you can wash it over and over again and nothing happens. And this is good quality.
Yeah, I love the fact that we just do it. The t-shirts for the everyday person. We got multiple colors, multiple flavors. Yeah, I think you're leaving with that.
I got to.
I think that's your fourth time touching that.
Yeah, I got to.
So we started out as Ambition, and then early on in the pandemic, a lot of quiet time. You couldn't leave the house, So this thing called For the People kept coming to me, and I was like, what does that mean? I've always kind of been for the people, but saying it versus just being it, it was time to start saying it. So we went from Ambition to Ambition FTP, and the FTP stands for the people.
Oh, and that's what it is now?
Yeah, for the people. So what does that mean? Like we strive to create clothing that motivates people, inspires people, but we also take our finances and invest in people,
Yeah.
So I've given money to kids. I've given money to organizations.
Yeah.
For a wide variety of reasons and to support different things
Right.
that usually have nothing to do with clothing.
Yeah.
Because that's what I felt like I'm called to do, is
Yeah.
to be for the people. And so some of that stuff we never post, we never talk about, as we should. Just
I was gonna say, why is that? A lot of people, I like that though, especially like the older generation. Like they do a lot for the community, but you would never know. Is that something that like is it?
Honestly, it's because I don't always have a camera. I don't do it because I don't like, some people in the social media realm are like, I can see like people recording a homeless person and giving them. I can see where there could be a little gray area there.
Right.
Should you put a stranger that? Yeah. But for me, it's just sometimes I just don't have a camera. I would love to, because I know that I get motivation when I see someone else do it. And if I see someone else doing it in a lane that I didn't even know we could give them, because we don't always know that we can sow into. You could sow into my clothing line. Just somebody like, I got $1,000 I want to spend. I've had people do that. They're not sowing into the clothes. They're sowing into me, my passion, my vision. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when I see someone else do it, I'm motivated by it.
Yeah.
So, but then there's another side of social media that why you gotta post it, and some people that bothers them and they don't post it. That's not me. Most of the time, I treated a client earlier in the week to almost $1,000 on lunch.
Oh wow.
Because that was my client. Like they're doing something that's groundbreaking. You'll get it. I got a Chick-fil-A gift card for you.
Yeah, I take that breakfast be hit, boy. That number 6.
I just had a number 1, but yeah. So I mean, giving is, no one should ever stop you from giving, and telling that you give is such a powerful thing. So for me, I just stamped it inside my company and for the people. And we about to go some places for the people that the world is gonna ask us how we did it. So when God gave it to me early on in the pandemic, I didn't know where it was gonna go.
And I do see you, like you use me a lot in a good way to come out and film these organizations that you're a part of. And every time I go, I'm like, I feel so good at the end. I'm like, look at these kids getting all this good information, stuff you can't get at school. Yeah. I'm like, they had stuff for us like that back in the day, but it's just like, it opened up my eyes a little bit. I'm like, this is dope. Shout out to, was it Youth Equity?
Youth Equity Summit. We got one coming up in a couple weeks.
That was a real good experience. And then also the Single Family Achievers.
Single Parent Achievers.
Single Parent Achievers. Yeah, that was really good too. So it's just like the love, when you're associated with stuff like that, it just make you feel like.
There's no feeling better than that, man.
You know what I mean?
You leave there inspired to help the next person, not to go make $1.
Exactly.
And so I know exactly how you feel.
Yeah. So now that we touched on your entrepreneurship and kind of like a journey, is there anything else that kind of made you who you are today in your journey?
My parents.
Yeah.
Me and my brothers were Boy Scouts. We sang in the church choir. We learned entrepreneurship in the basement, and that environment. I sold weed in college. So the first college I went to was called Mount St. Mary's. I got put out of that school for selling weed. I had a basketball scholarship. My brother had just went to the Final Four. But the environment that I was putting myself in opened my mind up to, you can sell some weed here.
Yeah.
Now, like I said, we were Boy Scouts. We sang in the choir. We printed shirts. None of that screams your family's struggling.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So my parents always put us in environments where we could thrive, where positive thoughts were flowing. Positive male role models. My parents is everything I'm doing, everything that I've become started with a seed that my parents planted.
That's what's up. Shout out to mom, dad, grandma, grandparents.
My grandmother played a role too. Yeah, she used to work at the store. I never worked when she worked because I was gonna be the manager. I'm the manager, so.
Get this out of it.
Grandma was full of her own opinions.
Yeah, that's how they are.
They always didn't work in the retail space. So
my grandma, she still smacked me. I'd be like, dang.
Yeah,
she got hands. I'd be like, Daddy, what's up?
Nah, grandma didn't put her hands on me. That one
crazy.
She did threaten me though.
Oh yeah, she was coming. So it seems like you're doing a real good job. I'm proud of you.
Thanks, dog.
I mean, I remember first meeting you. Did you have dreads?
I did.
You lied, bro.
I did.
You had dreads?
Yeah.
Dang, I was trying to remember. Yeah, he had locks. He was a little, he's still a little skinnier. But it was a minute ago, and I was young. I probably was like, what was that, 12 years ago? So
Yeah.
I probably was in my early 20s.
I want to say
And,
2010, maybe 2009.
Yeah, so just seeing you grow, it's been crazy. And the fact that we both growing, I got my 2 companies, and you got your entrepreneurship going. So the fact that, you know, we both at a different level.
Yeah.
And just trying to be the best we could be each day is a great thing, man. What advice would you give to somebody that's young, trying to do what you're doing, or trying to tap into like the clothing industry, entrepreneurship, just all around?
Well, I say entrepreneurship as a whole is find a mentor, find someone that literally can tour you around the way they live, the way they do business, and you can follow it. Meaning, if you want to be a graphic, want to be in the media production business, you could follow someone in the media production business, right? Make sure they're good, make sure they're committed to it, but you could also follow a dentist, right? Because the way that they think is what you want to pull from, not always what they do. I do my clothing line different from some of the people that I'm in business with, some of the people that I know. I do my t-shirt printing business different, right?
Yeah.
I can still put some of their thought processes, but I don't steal the way they do it. I do it the way I do it, right? So I have mentors that aren't in the clothing business that have affected the way I sell clothes because of the way they think. So the first thing is you got to get a mentor, or you're going to waste a lot of time trying to figure it out on your own. And sometimes that gets, that's draining. And it'll make you think this don't work. It's like, it's not that it don't work. You ain't using, you only using this.
Yeah, or they know something that you don't know, and they already been through.
Yeah, they've been through
what
it.
you're trying to get to.
Yeah.
So how does a young person go out and find like a mentor that's for them? Like,
That's perfect. Go to your local church. Church, temple, maybe you watch online. Go to the church.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say the church is because it ain't always a success level at church. You know what I mean? Like certain locations, it's like, all right, this is gonna be medium income. You go to church, you could be sitting next to a I remember there was a lady at my church. They were like, yeah, she's a millionaire. I'm like, her?
For real.
You know what I'm saying? No offense,
Lady,
but
like,
she dressed nice and all that, but I just didn't see millionaire.
yeah.
Right? But I'm not a millionaire, so how do I know what one looks like? I'm not one, you know what I mean?
Right.
But what I'm saying is that when you go to the church, and my friends who are following, maybe watching, know I post scriptures that I believe in Jesus and yada, yada, yada. But I'm saying go to church because of the organization. I'm not saying go to church because you're going to pray with your mentor.
Right.
I rarely pray with my mentors.
Gotcha.
What I'm saying is that you have a melting pot of people who are at different levels of success, who are in God's house, meaning they're going to be easy. They should be easier to connect. You shouldn't have to break the ice too much to say, hey man, we church mates. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, if our community centers were really community centers, I tell you to go there.
Right.
But usually our community centers don't gravitate the community to come congregate. We don't have town hall meetings. You know what I mean? We don't gravitate at the barbershop and talk about how we're going to change the town, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, that's real.
That stuff don't happen, but I'm telling you to find an organization of people. I'm using church because there's one common thing, and it's not the people, it's God. You know, we're there to worship. We're doing it together, right? The people matter, but I'm saying we're there because we're trying to have an interaction with God, right? So that's a great space, right?
Yeah.
Another space to get a mentor is to go on Google and whatever you want to be, find 15 businesses in within 15 miles of where you live, find as many businesses as possible that do that. So if I'm trying to get clothing stores, clothing brands, and find within a 15-mile radius and find them. Reach out. Hey, my name. If you're under 21 and you don't have no facial hair, you are not a threat to any adult you come across. If you got a full beard and chest hair at 16, I'm gonna be like, it's grown. Not that I'm afraid of you, but the older you get, the more it's like competition.
Yeah.
Right? If someone wants to come learn how to do what I'm doing, I don't care how old you are. But most people they're not trying to help another adult.
Yeah.
They'll help a kid every day of the week. So if you're young, use your youth as an advantage. I'm a novice, I'm just starting out. Even in some of my businesses, I'm almost 40. I still tell people I'm new, I'm just starting out. And that breaks the ice to say, oh, I want to help you.
Yeah.
You know, and if I come in as a know-it-all, they don't want to help me, but I come in at 37, look, this is something I'm just starting, I'm brand new, yada, yada, yada. They're like, oh man, I would love to help.
Yeah.
right? So Google those businesses and look, my name is whatever. I'm reaching out because I want to learn more about the multimedia production business.
So what if you got like a shy person, like you know how some people don't have that personality,
Yeah.
like they're like more like nah, like
Yeah.
and then a lot of the younger generations they don't really know about going out and saying hi to somebody.
Right.
Like they do everything through technology. And,
Yeah.
they somebody online, but in real life they're like.
Yeah.
So how would somebody like that open up to find like?
The best way is to take your fear and put it at the beginning of the sentence. So when you call that business owner, hey, Mr. Dan, look, I'm extremely nervous. I'm not outspoken.
Right.
I'm sweating my behind off right now. But I was on Google and you was one of the first businesses I found. That's it.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And then at that point, you've already relieved your mind that,
Yeah.
okay, we are this way, but we got to keep talking, right? And I would say practice. Get in the mirror and practice it. And by about the 10th time, you're not no longer thinking of how afraid you are. You're thinking about, man, I keep stuttering. But you're putting it together in your head. You're like, I'm stuttering, I want to stop. You're not saying I'm stuttering, I want to quit.
Yeah.
So the more you practice and practice and practice, and Payne ain't have a good spiral, dog.
Right.
But he practiced getting that ball to
Right.
his receiver's chest by any means necessary and reading the defense.
Yeah.
Practice. He was never good at a spiral.
Is that how you kind of got better with public speaking? Because I know at a lot of events I see when I'm recording you be out there loud. Like, hey, talk to the kids, get up.
Yeah.
Lunchtime, like I'm like, man, this nigga outspoken. So is that how'd you get better with that? Like just doing it, practicing?
Just doing it. And I tried to, this is why I say it's so important to follow the way your mentors think and not what they do. I had a mentor and I tried to be just like him, but it wasn't me.
Gotcha.
So it was kind of like, I kept like hitting a wall and I'm like, this feels right, but it ain't, it ain't, I'm not getting the end result I want. And I said, I gotta be me, but I still have to follow him. It wasn't him, it was me.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? I was copying him instead of the thoughts he had, the strategy he had, right?
Yeah.
So really just, honestly, practice and just keep doing it. I remember I spoke at an event, I was like, man, this was terrible. They paid me, but I was like, man, this is
Was it one of your first ones? Or like,
in that realm, yes it was. It was one of my first ones. They thought I was gonna be good at something. I was like, I think I'm gonna be good at it too. And I was pretty bad at it.
damn, that's all right though. I mean, you learn from it.
The people listening didn't know I was bad.
But in your mind, you knew
I know I was horrible.
you could do way
I
better.
recorded it because I went back and
So
listened.
you watch, a lot of times when I record y'all events, do you go back and watch
Absolutely.
everything?
And I throw up every time. I'm like, ew, I sound like PG County. You know what I mean? Like
That's funny. Yeah, 'cause this is new to me because I'm always behind the camera, but recently I just I want to get out of my comfort zone.
Right.
And it's been like an idea I had in my head all the time. And I know so many people that's doing stuff. So I'm like, why not give everybody a chance to just sit down, chop it up, and just tell people what you're doing.
And what are we doing? What's this podcast called?
This is called Young Bosses.
Young Bosses.
It might be called something else.
Yeah, because I'm almost 40, so this is my middle-aged bosses.
You almost 40?
I'm almost 40.
You look young though.
I appreciate it. Man, my wife's a boss, but I feel what you're saying.
It works. Any last things you want to say to the people, or you think you got covered pretty much everything?
No, I think I said everything. You can follow us on Instagram, ambition_FTP. You can get some clothes. We're going to do some things where we have some people coming in that will be talking about how you can be ambitious in your life. And it's going to really be inspiring. You can also follow us, Sports Heaven Brand. Sports with an S at the end. Heaven, like our last place we want to live, hopefully. And then Brand, BRAND, Sports Heaven Brand. That's our print production company where we literally work with anyone, but particularly small business owners like this young man right here, and we help them create branded clothing that leads them to getting more business. And then you can follow me _MR Commerce, short for Mr. _Mr. Commerce. And you can just follow me for daily motivation, and maybe I might post something funny. Maybe I might post something ignorant you don't like, you might unfollow me. But I'm going to be me, but that's where you can find us. I really don't have anything else I want to add other than, man, this is dope. Young bosses, you're going to be talking to other people who are entrepreneurs. Where can they follow you?
Payne Productions on Instagram, YouTube, Payne Productions, same thing. I'm still working. I'm still trying to figure out. I might switch some stuff up. So y'all might hear something different in like a week or two, honestly.
But today, Payne Productions, Payne Productions.
Yes, sir.
This man shot my wedding, so
yes,
I know his videography, photography skills are amazing. He just worked with a few of my clients recently.
Yes, sir.
I just got a shape up, so we had to do this interview today.
I got one this morning too.
You look sharp.
9 o'clock, bro.
You look sharp.
I was in there. It was taking long. I gotta go.
Yeah,
man.
you look good though.
Appreciate it. You look good too, man.
Yeah,
I love you, Joey. Appreciate you,
brother.
man. Thank you so much for taking the time out. Cause I know it was hard. It was hard scheduling. We wanted to do this weeks ago. I'm like, Joey, come on, man. He's like, man, we gonna do it. I'm like,
look, 4 blocks from my house.
Yeah,
so
straight. Yes, sir.